All right, man. Welcome to Fight Week in America. How you feeling?
Yeah, I feel good. I got in Sunday night, so I'm already feeling fresh. Got over that long travel.
Fresh would be one way to describe the weather here. I mean, it's probably not something you're quite used to, right? I mean,
Now I'm coming from summer. It's summer in New Zealand right now, so going from hot to very, very cold.
what's the coldest you've ever had a fight weekend? Is this going to rank right up there? I mean, Wisconsin in December is usually pretty rough.
It's pretty cold. I did. Was it December in Vegas? There was like
That's
one
not
December.
usually too bad,
But I was like not prepared for it. Like this, I looked up and I was like, "Oh shit, it's gonna be cold." So I was brought my jacket and everything. But when I was in Vegas, I was just like, "Oh, it's Vegas. It's a desert. It's gonna be hot." And so I did not prepare well. So I'm more prepared. So I'm not freezing my nuts off.
Talk to me about this run that you've been on, man, because 4 straight after you move back up to lightweight and you're just kind of running right through guys. I mean, what's been the difference for you? Has it just been the change in weight classes or just the kind of the fight IQ is different, the veteran status is different? Has it all just been a coincidence these last 4 fights?
Yeah, it's like a combination of a lot of things. So people look at the weight, but I think that's just one of many things. My training completely changed. Now I'm working exclusively at City Kickboxing in Auckland, back with my head coach Eugene. So that I will put down as a major. But yeah, it's a combination of experience. This is now my 11th fight. So it just took my featherweight is just like a growth period. So I wouldn't take any of that back.
You were glad fighting it, by the way, but I mean, I'm going to assume that you like it a lot more here in this division.
Way more.
Yeah, 10 pounds is a lot.
It took a big chunk of my ability to think, which is my largest. That's probably the key asset I think I have is my intelligence as a fighter and my ability to adjust and think in there. I think like the guys that cut more weight and the bigger guys who go out with like a set plan and they just set on that one task, then they can cut the weight because they're not they don't have to think as much. But me, like I rely heavily on my intelligence, so then for me to just lose that, like I used to go into the fight and just kind of be stunned mullet standing there. So
because of the weight cut, you think
I feel like that'll be the major thing that you could put it down to.
So you say you don't regret that time you spent at featherweight, but I mean, you were.
Well, I learned like a lot of tough lessons there. I was not fighting smart. My training wasn't great. Things weren't all in line. Say I would have started. I get a fresh start at lightweight. Whereas had I come in the UFC, I wouldn't have been on a streak like this. I would have still had losses as of lightweight. So to get that learning experience done in a different weight class and then now to get a completely fresh start as a much improved fighter is what I don't take back.
Yeah, sure. And you're not just obviously winning fights, you're not just going in there for 15 minutes, you're knocking guys out, you're submitting guys. How big of a difference is that for you in making sure that future opponents are looking at your resume going, oh shit man, like this guy's putting people away, we got to watch for this guy?
Well, that's no good for getting more fights if people are scared to fight you. But yeah, that just comes with my approach to the sport and my style.
Talk to me a little bit about getting that call for Edson Barbosa. He's a guy who's been around for a little bit. He's got some great highlights on his resume, just like you do. What did you think when that name came on the other end of the phone? Yeah,
this is what I live for, man. For opportunities like this and to compete against the best, compete against top 5 ranked opponent. This is where I get to showcase my skills. So it's been very easy to get up for this. This is why I look for the toughest challenge possible, because now the training becomes very simple. It becomes very easy. When you're standing in front of a task that big and a name that big, it becomes like very easy to get up, very easy to get motivated for the training camp. So yeah, just been pushing hard, and it's been mentally not as challenging as when you have a lesser name opponent and then you have to like motivate yourself to get to training. It's been pretty straightforward.
Because for sure, the guys you've beaten the last 4 have had names behind them, but they haven't had, as you said, kind of that top 5.
At the time, like those are big names to me.
Yeah.
Like those are all Eds and Barbosas to me. Like the guys like Jim Miller and Ross Pearson. Like when I heard those names, those were my biggest opponents to date, and that's
veteran
why
guys who've been in some wars.
And that's why I did so well in those fights, because I got up for it, because it made me like that little bit nervous. That's been a fault of mine throughout my career. Like early on, is that I have trouble like getting nervous for fights. It's like kind of a reverse effect to most fighters. So I kind of go in there a bit like lackadaisical and standing there like until you get punched in the head for a round and a half and then go, that's right, we're in a fight. Whereas if you give me an opponent like Ross Pearson, Jim Miller, Edson Barbosa, now you're getting that adrenaline flowing. Now you're making me a bit cautious, a bit aware, and I think that's where I do my best.
So that you've got the right kind of nerves this week going into
balance. Yeah, there's a balance. You can't have no nerves because then you're just half asleep, and you can't have too much nerves because then it freezes you. So I have a very good ability now, and that's through that experience. That's through I've had a lot of fights in my career now, and that's through that I can now control that nerves. Like, oh, there's too much, turn it down, or not enough, turn it up. So I can control it like a tack now.
When you look back at his fights, when you look at his highlights, his videos, things like that, I mean, what else do you need to worry about with this guy besides the obvious, which is, I mean, we kind of know his leg kick history and things like that, but what else do you need to watch out for in there with him?
Yeah, well, him as an opponent, stylistically, it's like pretty straightforward with what he's bringing to the table. Very simple game. Like he's going to strike and he's going to defend takedowns like his life depends on it. And so I don't feel like that is going to change. He's very big for the weight class. He's very fast, very strong. But let's just say that the same things that make us strong make us weak, because he's so good at those things. I feel like he's set on those things, and he's not shown the same development as a fighter as a lot of different guys, and he doesn't have the versatility that you need to continue to do well in the sport for an extended period of time. I feel like as soon as you get stuck on one thing and you just set your path on that, you've put a cap on your development, you've put a cap on your longevity as a fighter. So for me, it's important to stay versatile and constantly developing my game, which is my biggest priority.
3 years from now, let's say you've gone on, you keep winning, you go on, you win a title, you look back and you say, you think this is the kind of fight where you look back and say, this was the one that put me over the hump to that next tier? I mean, it's the kind of name, it's the kind of exposure in a co-main event. This is the kind of win that put you over into that next level?
I try not to focus on the importance of the moment too much, because at this time now, days out from the fight, like it really can do nothing for you. It really, I'm as motivated as I can be. I know, I completely understand the opportunity I have in front of me, but thinking about the moment is not going to help me. I have to just live in the moment and process everything as it comes, and not let that distract me from the task at hand.
The task at hand to keep that finish streak going, and obviously get your hand raised, but keep that finish streak going.
The task at hand is just to eat what's on my plate, not get ahead of myself. Every time throughout my career I've got ahead of myself, I've suffered setbacks. So I just eat what's on my plate now. That's my major focus. That's why I am here now, because the task ahead, what I can see, my next fight, I focus on that. I dedicate everything to that. I go all in on that. And that's why I'm here now in this position. So I'm not going to get ahead of myself. I'm going to focus on the task at hand, and we'll see how it goes.
Appreciate it, man. Good luck on Saturday.
Thank you.